Azealia Banks' heart is just not in none of this. Like, she just wants to argue with people and be fake Wendy Williams for like the rest of eternity, and it's just not what she should be. Hello, you guys. Welcome back to the Cake Radio Show. I'm the CakeDive, and I hope y'all are doing well because today we're gonna be talking about Azealia Banks again. This is gonna be the third time I've talked about Azealia Banks. The first time I talked about her was, I think, during the release of Renaissance, when she was like saying that she was saying like Beyonce was copying her and all this type of stuff. And then I talked about her on the first time on YouTube, um, talking about her beef with like Doechii and the stuff that went down with that. And now I'm talking about this lady again. We're talking about her because she decided to call out Lil Nas X. Not even call out, she did a tweet saying that Lil Nas X fell off hard. This exact tweet, and I'm going to censor this because, like, if I say what she said in full, YouTube's going to take my stuff down. She said, and all the other podcast platforms too, she said, Lil Nas X really fell off so hard. LMFAO, that little swore she was the T, has no bars. Ha 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 ha. Lil Nas X decided to clap back because let's not forget that Lil Nas X used to be a Stan Twitter user, like a person who used to have a Stan Twitter account. And he said, Azealia, I could never make a hit song again, and you would still never in your soap selling, chicken sacrificing, botch body hating, miserable life reach a tenth of my success. Love your music, by the way. Kissy face. And Azealia wrote essays and dissertations full of tweets, basically like being very homophobic and very questionable with these tweets. And I'm not going to rate it all because, like, first of all, neither you, the listener, or me, the person recording this episode of the Cake Radio Show, have none of the time to really break down on that. And, like, I feel like everything that she said about Lil Nas X in these tweets, she said before about other artists. And it is just, like, really, really annoying that, like, this is just something that Azealia Banks is just constantly going to do. And, like, it's not even, like, really annoying because, like, okay, because at one point she's getting exactly what she wants out of this. Like, she's an attention seeker who wants people to talk about her by any means necessary. So the fact that I'm even doing an episode on her very much is me falling into exactly what she wants us to do. And this might mean I need to reconsider doing episodes on her going forward. To take that, do one little thing to take that away from her. But it is just, at that being said, it's still unfortunate that her heart is not in the music anymore. Like, she just really does not want to do music anymore, and it's just really unfortunate. Like, her heart's not in it. She claims that she wants to drop the album. She claims she wants to drop new music. She claims that the music that she's quote unquote working on is going to be better than like the hits that she is remembered for. But we don't get any of it. And all we get are these stupid ass tweets of her literally foaming at the mouth over random celebrities like she's Wendy Williams. You're not Wendy Williams. You're not even CakeDive. Like, I don't know what you're doing wasting your time about this. When the people want the music, like, people, despite all the weird and crazy things that Azealia Banks has done, even like her being invited and attending a Donald Trump rally, people are still willing to like give her like the benefit of the doubt and like support her and support the music that she wants to release. But the thing is, she doesn't want to do music anymore. Like, the fact that Cleotrapa, who I talked about in the episode of like the fall of Ice Spice, and how, you know, Cleotrapa after like doing the videos talking about how she had a very horrible time with Ice Spice on tour, she said that, well, she revealed, like, Azealia Banks reached out to her and said that she would want to like perform on like at like a Halloween event with her. Cleotrapa, like a few days ago, at the time of recording, posted a tweet saying that she is no longer going to be performing on Halloween with Azealia anymore, and she said it was Azalea's decision. Tinashe, who like had her big moment with Nasty this year, and with like her new Quantum Baby album, which I still really love, um, revealed that like Azealia Banks was allegedly going to be doing a remix to Nasty, or like doing one of the like a remix to one of her songs for this album, and it just never happened. And she said it was on Azealia. So the fact that she had like Azealia had these big opportunities to like really change like her public perception, as well as like bring other people like not up with her, like either bring people up with her or bring herself up, and she just like refused, like for whatever, not even for whatever reason. It's just the fact that her heart's not in it. She wasn't being for real about none of this. Like if she performed with Cleotrapa, it would have made Ice Spice look even worse, because of the fact that like, oh, like you have this crazy Azealia Banks woman literally out here performing with the person that like you treated horribly, and like she's treating Cleotrapa better than you. Does that say something about you? Yes. And like Cleotrapa has been getting, like, as this has been getting a lot of attention and a lot of praise, and has been like doing the things, since the Ice Spice stuff. And like she's always been comfortable with like her success and stuff like that. And even though she hasn't been on like the level of like Ice Spice in terms of like charting on Billboard and stuff like that, Cleotrapa has never needed that. She just needed she's always had the attention, she's always had the boost and stuff like that. Like she's been social media it girl for a minute. Like it's true. And then you have Tinashe. Tinashe literally took the world by storm with Nasty, and that was one of her biggest hits since like Tuon. And she has been doing the big thing. Like she has been doing her. She did a bunch of collaborations, remixing Nasty, with like the Match My Freak remix with like Chloe and them. She, bringing a lot of attention and praise to Chloe in between Chloe's rollout for Trouble in Paradise. She just recently had the remix with like Charlie XCX for Back to Back, which, by the way, both the remix and the original song are like the most slept on songs off of the Brat album. I'm gonna stay on that hill. Like, y'all need to tap in. Like, ooh, that remix, gotta run it back. Hey, like, it's just a hit. Like, I love it, and y'all just need to tap in, because the hot girls love Back to Back. And anyways, you had these two very big moments that Azealia very clearly like wanted to take advantage of and like leaned into, because again, she like invited and reached out to Cleotrapa to do a performance, and Tinashe revealed that she did reach out and have some work done with Azealia on a remix. So it's not that like she didn't it's not like she just did not work on these whatsoever, or that she lied. She straight up just like was just like, no, I don't want to do it. Like it just like she just, I don't know what's going on. And some people want to say that it's like mental illness and stuff like that, but it comes to a point, and I'm not like knocking mental illness by any means when I say this, but it comes to a point in which some of this is just like laziness, because like she, and it's not, or like it's self-sabotage as well, because let's not forget, let's actually talk about Azealia Banks's music. She released that Dilemma song. I did a research. She released, the last song she released was that Dilemma song that she released like last year, literally this time last year, October 27, 2023, that which nobody streamed because it sounded awful. Like she was teasing snippets and it was like, oh, like this is gonna be heat, and everybody was like, what the hell is this, Azealia? And it made no noise. Then in March of last year, she released New Bottega, which, for people who are like listening to Azealia and paying attention to Azealia, like a lot of people were like really interested in New Bottega, and were thinking that that was going to be like the next big like comeback single for Azealia. and she literally had like a fallout with one of like the producer of that song and like the label that released it, and she was like it released, she pulled the release and said that she didn't authorize the release, and she was saying about weird things about the like Darren Foot, no Taryn Torn Foot, my bad, and like the label that released it, and then it just came out and she just did not promote it. So like the release of that mess was fumbled, and like that's really it. Like she like it seems like every time she releases a song, when she does release a song, because again it's been a year since she's released a track, and like one, she's like self-sabotaging it, like nobody's like she's not pushing it the way that like they should be pushed, she's just kind of like here damn. And the other thing is like they're not doing like again they're not good tracks to be on the heights of like her other albums or like her other projects and songs. So the fact that like she's just like instead of dedicating time to actually making the music good and actually promoting the music, she's busy like arguing and having beefs with stuff like that to the point in which she literally will have nobody by her corner. The fact that she's doing like tweets talking about like first of all she's back on Twitter, which shocked me because like she's been banned on Twitter like multiple times. So the fact that she's just like back and is just saying whatever is like, and people are just like, you know what, yeah, like it's just like really strange to me. But the fact that she's like rambling on Twitter about these different celebrities, the fact that she's like saying that like, oh, Kamala Harris is gonna be like bad for Black women, like she was not showing up at a Trump rally for, which is literally someone who very actively is pushing policies. Say what you will about Kamala Harris, but the fact that like Trump is pushing policies that directly will harm Black women in a disproportionate rate is very interesting for her to back. And the fact that like she's being like she's trying to clock like go circling back to like Lil Nas X, the fact that she's trying to, and I'll even circle back to Doechii too with Lil Nas X, the fact that like she is accusing Lil Nas X of being like a self-hating Black gay man when while also using like homophobic language and rhetoric is very weird. The fact that like when it came to the Doechii stuff, the fact that she was being like, oh, like why are you doing this to a Black woman, and saying very colorist stuff to Doechii is very weird. So the fact that like people are not only seeing her politic, and it's very weird and very harmful to the people that look like her, and people are just like, oh yes, like oh like engaging with it and doing all this type of stuff, and just be like, oh, Azealia's just funny, like Azealia just did that and the third. And when like Azealia, broken clock is right twice a day. The fact like, and I've said that before, the fact that like Azealia has said things that like people are willing to like agree with and be like, oh, like she's not too bad, like she's kind of smart. Like no, she, again, a broken clock is right twice a day. She'll say something that is like, what most people will agree with, or what a certain side of people will agree with. But literally 99% of the time, she's going to say some bullshit that is literally the dumbest thing you ever heard. So I don't think that we're going to get like, okay. I feel like we're at this point in Azealia Banks's career in which we should just put the footnote on like we should just close the book on music. Like we should treat it the way that people are starting to treat getting a new album and a new project from like Rihanna. Like it's just not gonna happen. Like, well, even then, what's fucked up? You wanna know what the most fucked up thing in the world is? We're actually gonna get Rihanna music before we get Azealia Banks music. Like we're getting this the new, like she's working on the Smurfs like musical project, and we're getting new songs from Rihanna from that. So we're actually gonna get like new stuff from that, and she keeps pretending like we're gonna get the next, we're getting R9. Oh wait, that's R9. Like the fact that we're gonna get new, like we may potentially, hypothetically, allegedly get a new Rihanna project is very telling, because we're not gonna get another Azealia Banks project again. Like her heart's just not in it. She's lazy and unintelligent and just does not want to put the work in on this music. She just wants to lay on her ass and make soaps all day and burn her fingers on Twitter like literally all day and on Instagram if she can, like until she gets banned again. So, and it's just like I feel like she does not care about legacy. Like there's one thing to like experiment and do these different things and have like even rough spots in your careers and stuff like that that people won't ignore, but like you still have music to like raise you above, you still have projects and art that will raise you above. Azealia Banks, and this is gonna be my closing thoughts on this. Azealia Banks does not have that. Azealia Banks has not. I feel like she's not. Again, she's unintelligent, so I don't think she's really thought of this. But I feel as if Azealia Banks is going like she all she's going to be remembered for is being this crazy dark skinned black woman who people, especially white gays, are going to remember fondly for being very crazy and starting a lot of drama and beef with other artists who have and like just ruined her career. Like people, if they do remember any of her music, they're gonna remember, you know, the hits that she put out in like a decade or two ago, like Luxury and 212 and like 1991 and Miss like all the stuff that was off that Broke with Expensive Taste like album. But there's nothing beyond that that will be good in Azealia Banks's career that people will remember her fondly for. And I don't know if she is comfortable living with that or if she recognizes that that is something that she'll have to live with. Because I don't know what goes through her head on a day-to-day basis. And I know when I say she's going to be remembered as this crazy dark-skinned black woman, that does come off as a colorist statement. But in a world with colorism and with someone who has, and as someone, not as someone, me personally, but referencing Azealia Banks, who has used colorist rhetoric and seems to understand what colorism is. She is literally being used as a pawn and as like an entertainment device by white people because she is a dark-skinned black woman who is making a fool of herself and is embarrassing herself and other black women. And not even just black women, just black people in general. And I think that's the problem. And that's my thoughts on Azealia Banks. This might be my last thoughts on Azealia Banks because I'm just like, I'm tired. I don't really want to talk about her anymore. She does like the same things over and over again. And it's just, at some point, it's like enough is enough. You know what I mean? If I do talk about her again, it has to be something really big or like, maybe the pockets are too dry and I need to do, you know, put out another episode that gives me a couple of views. I don't know. But that's my thoughts on the Azealia Banks stuff. Let me know your thoughts in the comments on YouTube or on Spotify or wherever you listen to this on podcast platforms. How you feel about Azealia Banks? How you feel about those tweets from like Azealia Banks and Lil Nas X? Do you feel like she's crazy? Do you feel like she has any sort of positive legacy going forward? Because like people wanted to support Azealia Banks, but she, again, her heart is not in this music. But would love to hear your thoughts. Please keep it, you know, chill, because it's like literally these, like me doing this episode is literally because Azealia Banks was saying some like really crazy stuff. Not that all day long outside of my house as I'm recording this, but anyways, Azealia Banks literally had like some of the oddest comments about Lil Nas X and about like other people in general. So like if we can keep this conversation very cordial and very nice and like not argue with people in the comments, that would be perfect. But that's my thoughts on this. Please be sure to subscribe, like, and comment and share this episode with your friends and family. Be sure to subscribe and, you know, would love to hear your thoughts. And that's it from me. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.